How are we all doing? It's the Mad Orders back. Yeah, so we managed to get done what I wanted to yesterday, which was good, which you'll get to see in a few moments. Just when I've got myself sorted. As you can see there in the little window, a little live window, to my left, your right. I am just getting some quick wire sorted for a bit that I'm wanting to do, and that's done now, so which is cool. Okay, well we might as well kick off and get rolling. Let's do this. So we'll head back over. Going to concentrate on the water tower today, and really hoping we can get that functioning, which is going to be interesting. I've also managed to, with a little bit of tweaking to the smart plating. As you can see, we're up to 13,000, nearly 13,500 smart plating. I've now got 4 pieces operational with the current power usage, and if you look at the power, we are pretty much sort of at our limit in terms of maximum connections. But that's okay, we're okay. You know, the actual consumption at the moment's down here, so we've got a little bit of leg room there, which is good, because we're going to need it. Because once these 3 finish, we're then going to be around the wrong way again, so I've got to sort of work that all out. But one thing at a time. Meantime, we are doing the water tower. We're going to get the water tower connected and undo the old one and the temporary one that I decided looked rubbish. And we will try and get it going. You know what I mean, Harry? Just give me a second here. Yep. So we're coming in. I haven't sorted the lighting yet either. That's something else we've got to do on this thing. As you can see, the lighting on this one is lovely. I really like it. It's very pleasing to the eye. Just got to get this one now sorted. So I've got piping sort of in place. I've run that sort of half underwater, just to give it a little thing, and put some concrete blocks down just to help it. And then effectively it comes in and out, and then spirals its way up. These I might change colour yet. We'll have to wait and see how I feel about that yet. But what we're going to do, we're going to just go over here. I have a ladder that takes us up, because I've had to remove all the ladders inside because of the leafage and stuff. Just want to say thank you to all those that are viewing, even though you're silent, I know, a lot of the time, and perhaps watch afterwards. I do appreciate the views, and we're hoping we can obviously get those to keep on gently increasing. which would be nice. So we're just working on certain things. I'm trying to learn a little bit more about YouTube. I was watching a video last night about YouTube. I think that curve there needs to alter. We need to get a better curve into there. I might bring that concrete pad out a little bit further. I'll have to do that after. But yeah, so we're trying to sort of work on little things with YouTube because YouTube's changing sort of the way it's operated, and particularly with me restarting this channel new from fresh means very much I'm starting from scratch. So I'm having to learn some bits and bobs, and I've been watching some YouTube videos and that, and yeah, it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, it's never going to be huge, but I'm not expecting it to, and not necessarily wanting it to, but I do appreciate obviously people viewing and subscribing where they can. Because it's just like anyone doing some interesting artwork, it's cool to get your work recognized. Just a nod is good enough. So Flowerhead were tanking, so I'm thinking at the moment to sort of do this, but I have no idea what this is going to look like. So we are going to need more leafage, I think, to make sense of it. But I just want to pop it up there, and we nicely included the ladder into the blueprint, so we'll have to remove that. Hello there, Mac. How are you, sir? Nice to see you back again, mate. So we did that one yesterday, and I decided that the little head system that I did came up okay. And the lighting, it all looks very cool. So we're doing something similar here, but this one, as you can see, has a tank on top, which needs painting. So I'm just working on the blueprint for that at the moment, but I'm sort of just wanted to plonk it down and have a quick look at it and see how the piping is going to work. Because what I'm thinking at the moment is because the piping is coming up sort of organically around, I wonder whether to have a loop system or whether I'm going to need to add more, sir, please, more. Whether I'm going to need to add actually 4 water towers up there to cope for the 4 pipes. I nearly said pints. I don't even drink beer. Yes. So that's where my brain's going. Thank you. Always a pleasure to catch you. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. The mad otter is happy. Wondering whether we need the 4 tanks slung underneath, actually. May be better. It may be better. Let's try it. Let's do. So let's delete blueprint. So we've got the goodies. I'm going to try something here. I do really like this with the lighting. It's come up better than I expected, actually, almost. In some ways. Very cool. If I don't mind saying so myself. So what I'm thinking here is to delete that one with tank. We will save blueprint like that. We will clear blueprint. Then what I'm thinking is we stick down how's this going to work though in reality? How far out do they need to be? This is a question I do not know. Let's run with there for the moment, and we might have to adjust. We'll do a temporary little test run. Because I've got a feeling that's not going to be quite enough. So let's just have a quick look. We're going to name this Tanks. We will have to sort all these blueprints out after I've finished this little project. That's something I will be doing. So let's quickly go back and just test whether they sit around this ring, and if they do, then we can carry on. A little bit of a bizarre project, this one, but it's alright, it's cool, it's a bit of fun, a bit different from the usual. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, which is the key. Hopefully you guys are too. So let's blueprint tanks. We just want tanks. Missing modular frame. Can you believe it? Okay. One is going to have to go back and quickly do. What was I just saying yesterday about vanilla and not going in the creative mode? always running out of stuff. Never mind. It's all part of the fun. Mm-hmm. So let's have a little look. Modular frames. Here we go. Let's just check that we've tanks. Yeah, got plenty. And back we go again. Nearly there. I love the way even though it's glitchy, the light actually sort of almost looks like electricity going through. I know it's technically a fault in terms of the rendering of the light, but I actually like it. It kind of adds to that whole sort of, I don't know, just power thing basically. I'm sure it will break your heart to get the hover pack in dimensional depots. Yes, I shall weep. Yeah, I need to, yes. 18 months of hover pack and fly mode has broken me. It's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to go back to the start and do it vanilla basically, because I was just like, actually, it's really good to remind myself, of what it's about. So it looks like, oh, it didn't go. I don't know where that went. Blueprints, quick, H, thank you. It's close. It is close. What I'm thinking is kind of something like that, with the flower bud thing at the top. Might have to redo a bit of the piping, but that's okay. I think that's going to work actually. I think that is going to work. Oops. Just got to get the positioning of it right when I actually do it, but that's okay. I think we're pretty much there actually. I think that's okay. Yep. Yep, I think that's going to work fine. Awesome. Okay, let's do it. Let us begin. And we could connect that all as one blueprint, all being well. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to colour these up to, I think, unpainted, possibly. Maybe chrome again. I don't know, maybe chrome. A bit more shine on it. Oops. Let's go here, and let's go all the way up to the top of the stairs, I think, for this. Then what we're going to do is introduce the... Now, is it flower head A? No, that was an experiment. Flower heads with tank was the one, but it's without tank. So I need to change the title of that. Oh no, well it will be with tank when I resave it, but it's okay. I'll have to work that one out. I've got to somehow get this. Yes. So it's going to be something like that. But I've got to make sure that that is in the right location, and that that's going to be the hardest thing, is to estimate where that's got to go. I think it was maybe one tap that way. It's such a thrill to see you take a basic cold gin and make it a work of art. Raymond Lowry of the 21st century. Thank you, mate. I appreciate your kind comments. I promise one day I will do a normal bog standard factory. I just wanted one day I want to do a map with just a big flat slab, and I actually want to film it as a step-by-step progress, like fast mode, it's like a speeded up thing of the whole thing built. But I want to build it as you would an actual factory. So in other words, like slab of foundations goes down, all the steel framework goes up, and do it like that. And I think that would be pretty cool. But I haven't worked out a way of filming it as I'm doing it. It would have to be probably a collaboration thing with someone else. So I've got to work all that out in due course. Now the question is, can we go up? We can go up one more, so let's give it a little bit of space, just enough like that. Let's click this and see what happens. Yeah, we're not going to have enough materials to actually do this, I don't think. Take all. So yeah, okay. So we're going to save this as tanks with flower head. Let's try this and see what happens. Set directory. We are going to do this as details. Yeah, coldly add blueprint here. Close that one. That always used to get me really confused when I used to do this. The fact that you had to close the first window always confused me, because I thought I was closing the whole thing down without saving it. Kind of bizarre. Right, okay, so let's get rid of that and that. Do a resave, save, confirm, correct. Right, I think that's ready to go. So let's make sure we've got all the materials for it. So we don't need that one. We need details. Tanks with head. We have all the materials. Let's go and put it in place. Besides the Hewlett unloader, building the Ford River Rouge plant in sequence was a long time goal of mine. Ooh. So, what dioramas do you particularly build? Are they like railway dioramas, or are they just factory, engineering type sort of industrial stuff? Each on their own sort of subject matter. I mean, Because I love, I mean, I would love, I haven't got the means, but I would love to have the money to have a railway, um, and to be able to build a railway, because I've got in mind what I'd want, and the level of detail um, would be kind of crazy. But but I sort of, it's like one of those things. I've just never had the finances really to do it. All the circumstances, because I live in a rented house, so it's kind of, it gets very awkward. You can't just use the loft or the garage or whatever, or spare room to dedicate. But it was definitely one of my passions that I never got around to being able to do. Now I've just got to get this in the right location. I think that's too far in. I think that's... Not sure how accurate that is. I need to try and get on here, I think, and have a closer look. So that's onto there. That's onto there. That's not. It almost needs a half shift. If I can do a half shift move, which I don't think I can for some reason. I wonder why that's doing that. Yeah, it's not equal. Maybe it's just the placement to start with is problematic. Overlapping may occur. Heavy industrial and railroads, mostly 1960s to 1970s, not military. Ultra realism. Oh, cool. I'd love to see some of your work, mate. If you've got a website or anything that you can link, feel free to do so. Oh no, I messed up. Back up. Not a plug, but if interested, model RR with a true artist's touch. Boomer Diorama's place. Retired pro Hollywood model builder. Ah, nice. Yep. No, just put a link, mate. I'm more than happy with anything like that. I don't like people just linking anything in or whatever, but that sort of thing, if it's artistic and in a true sense and sort of like, and I've approved it, then you can. I'm just trying to get the alignment, make sure I've got the alignment right on this at the moment. It's proving a little bit tricky to see, but I think we've actually done it there. I think it's sat this time as in the right place. Ah, there's the way of telling. It has. That is the correct position. So I just need to get out and click. And try and press the parachute at the same time. Right, there we go. Right, let's try and get back up now, if we can. Yeah. Oh, come on. Are you serious, man? Right, so this one here. So basically these are the downpipes. The spirally ones are downpipes. The vertical inside ones are the up pipes, where we will. I don't know which is going to be best at this point in stage in terms of look. I think we're just going to have to try it and see whether the auto does it or whether the horizontal to what's it does it as a better curve. I'm just not sure at this point. Right, so what we then have to work out is how we get in a reasonably good looking way invalid shape. Well, that's your perspective, sir, not mine. I want that shape. If I just do that, what happens? Let's have a look. It's going to kink it, I think, too much. No, it's quite organic. Okay. Okay, let's run with this and see what happens. Because we're going up to there, so we want to roughly. What height was that other one at? Oh, awkward height. Okay, I didn't even actually plan that. Oh no, come on. Hoverpack, where are you? Okay, so we're around there somewhere. Pretty much on that line, okay. Oh, come on, stop it. Ay. Now, what's it not clearing with? It's not clearing with that, okay. Weirdly enough. No. Well, we're just going to have to do it, I think, and see how it looks in terms of clearance. Now that one needs to come down that way. Sometimes when you're doing these curves, if you do it from one direction, it's like really tight and stupid, and then the other way is better. And as you can see, it's come round to doing a similar curve here now to that one. Now we've got to find the next one. Now there is a bit of clipping here with this build with the pipes, as you can see, but I'm not going to get hung up on that because it's not too visible, to be honest. think that's probably right. We go around, we're back to this height here, I think it was, wasn't it? It's about halfway up that. Have we got that? Yes, we did, almost it. Around about there somewhere. Yes. Let's try just do it and see what happens. And then this one we bring down that way and it hopefully will give us a similar bend. Yep. And here's the other one that's got to be brought around. And that's going to have to go about there. I'm hoping we can get this to... Oh, hang on a minute, this has got to go to this one. So, no. Okay. So what we actually need to do is bring that one up a little bit higher. So we need to go from wherever it was down here, there, to there, like that. And then we can do that one from there down to there. Yeah, so just remember if you're doing curves, wacky curves and stuff, try it from both directions because sometimes it works better from another direction than just one direction. If you get my drift. That's your perspective, so I'm going to have to remember that line. I feel like a bumblebee crawling around a flower. Yeah, exactly. Well, one of the original concepts I had, which was on the other map that where I was experimenting, was I actually had a flower, and I'm going to do this on this map at some point. Not here, but I will at some point on the big flower that I do, because these are going to be very small. So whether it's the nuclear plant or whether it's another plant, I've yet to work out. But I'm thinking of doing it for the nuclear. That's what I really want to do, is a big organic flower for that. And what's going to happen with that is I'm going to have drones basically delivering some of the goods, and it's going to look like effectively insects then to the flower. That's the concept. That was the original concept I had, and I've never yet fully done it. I've only played around with it. So it's going to be fun. Well, hopefully anyway. Hopefully it's going to be fun. Well, that's cool because these pipes, I was thinking that the center I may have redone, and I will be doing it differently on the big organic flower. That's going to be a whole different beast. For this one, I've kept it fairly straight in the middle, but the piping has helped. It sort of has helped make it look a little bit more organic and loose, which is cool. So there's a couple of things I need to do. I need to delete that ladder that's in the middle of the thing still. And I need to get some more leafage. I think just underneath these tanks I think would be cool. Or whether I do the pink ones underneath, between the tanks, coming down. Or both. Again, replicate this sort of situation but up here. But maybe with less of these pink ones and just do them in between. So that would be 4 of those. So let's have a look. Plant B, that's that one, isn't it? Yes. No, that's the big one. I think. That looks like the big one. I need to really label these properly. Leaf B, leaf small. There we go. I had sort of done it. Okay, so leaf small, we're going to need 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are just fractionally short on steel beams. And then we need to do the up ones, which are that one. Okay, so that's flower B. So let me edit. I can't change the name. Okay, I'll just put upward for the moment. That will help me remember apply changes. And we want one of those. So we just need about 400 steel. And then hopefully we can wire it all up. I've got cable going at the moment from here underneath the water in. I've just got to make sure that cabling is all linked up properly, link it up to here to get this working, and then link the piping up and make sure everything's working properly and get the water basically at the right levels for the 8 Watsits. Let's go and get some steel. One crazy thing a prankster pulled off that might have artistic potential, he created a lava lamp or a popcorn popper using jump pads, caging doggos in it, then they bounced all over. Yeah. Yep. Yep. There's all sorts of nutty stuff you can do, and it's literally whether you want whether you want to do it, and whether you've got the patience and times to set it up and do it. I mean, even just having the time to go and collect the doggos to make sure and try and get them to contain, because one of the problems I had when I collected animals once and put them all in a zone was they would suddenly just randomly respawn back to their spawn points. So I ended up basically giving up on animals because not in real life, but just because they were spawning back, and it just was creating havoc basically in terms of the stuff I was trying to achieve. It wasn't working. I don't know whether that was a glitch that they fixed. No idea. As you can see with the ejected phase, the smart plating, we're now nearly up to 14,000. I'm now producing 20 a minute rather than 5 a minute. So we've managed to increase that with the increase in power so far, which is good. And I've noticed a big difference even in that, obviously. I mean, 4 times the speed now of producing, so it's heading in the right direction. Once this is done, we can go back to the smart plating and see if we can actually get that factory finish built as far as we can at this stage with what we have unlocked. Obviously it's going to be a lot further developed down the line once everything else is done. Okay, let's have a look. One of the funniest videos I've ever seen of is Let's Game It Out, of course. I don't normally name people, but I will name him because. But if you haven't seen him do Satisfactory, go and watch. It is hilarious. It's sort of like one half of your body is just totally cringing with absolute sheer like despair at him, and the other half is just absolutely just splitting your sides with laughter. It's just brilliant. Very, very funny guy. Right. Now this is where it's actually going to get very tricky, I think, because I okay, so H to around about there. Thinking out loud, I wonder what the popcorn popper would work with berries or other items dropped in it. Mmm, he is incredible. I can't imagine the hours that go into each one of his. Oh, it would be mind blowing. Yeah, and just the editing afterwards and everything. I mean, because his yeah, I mean the editing is part of the funny part of it. That's what's so also very so clever about it, and the time to do that is just yeah ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so what we want to do now is do the other leaf if we can. This is is going to prove interesting. How can we do this? I don't even know where that is. Let's just bring it up. Oh, it's down. It's there. Okay, so we actually can't use that one. We're going to have to redo because we need it to swing round. And I don't know whether this is going to work. All I can do is don't think that's going to work. Because the rotation thing is not working on the blueprints, I don't know whether this is actually going to work. I'm going to have to find a way of laying it almost in the right way first. But it's... Ah, I know why. Of course. Doing blueprint on blueprint. Of course it won't work. Right, let's jump across. Can we do this? Can we do this? I need it to be down there. That's it. Okay. Let's see if we can actually get this to work, shall we? In you come. Up you go. And it should just about fit in there. Like that. That is the goal. Let's pop one in. Have a look. Kind of crazy. I think that's going to work. I think it'll be alright. Once we get lighting in there properly, it's going to be nice. If only they build water towers like that in real life, eh? He is incredible. Yep, he is incredible. So, power plant, little coal, 8 coals. That's the old water tower which we're demolishing in shortly. This is the new one, and I prefer the new one. I think it's looking fairly sweet. Just got to go through and finish off these now. 3 other leaves pop in, and then we can start trying to get it all wired up, get the piping linked up properly to the power station, and we can try and get it actually working. Come on. Oh, nope, 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 nope. There we go. Oh, no. It's not playing ball. There we go. Now I think that is roughly right. We've got to go between these 2 leaves. So roughly about there. And then let's come up. And bring it in. And up. Bring it in. Then we can. No, 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 no. Missed it, missed it, missed it. Okay, so the leaf went in. Ay, 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 ay. I'm gonna have to go back up the ladder. I will not be crying when Hoverpack is unlocked. I've actually never done these builds vanilla before. I've always done them in creative mode. The stuff like this, so the frustration is real. And I've always had fly mode on, so I could just whip around and get stuff lined up perfectly. And yep. Right, try again. Come on, bring it in, bring it in. Bring it up. Now we've just got to make sure we get it into a similar location to this one, which is basically into that height there. So similar to that, a little bit further. I think that will do. It is clashing on that leaf. That's okay, we could have it clashing on both. Leaves do interact. Or we can go out a little bit and stop that completely by doing that. But I want the nodule bit hidden. So I think we might just enjoy the little bit of leaf clashing. To be honest, I'm not going to get worried about that. too much, he says. Yeah. Maybe down a bit, so we missed that. Bit. Yeah. Somewhere around there, I reckon. It's never going to be perfecto building it this way. The ones I built before on previous maps, I did literally in situ. I didn't have blueprints. Blueprint machines didn't basically exist back then. So I was actually standing up here with millions of vertical posts and getting all the locations for the leaves and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was an interesting. That's why some of my projects used to take me like 500 hours just to do one building. And now you understand why I burnt out. But blueprints have definitely changed the game, which is good. Less accurate, but for doing stuff like this, it makes it a lot harder to get things exactly where you want them, but near enough. Near enough, near enough. Let's have a little look, see where we're at with this one. Not too far off. I reckon about there will be fine. Can we go in a little bit? Yeah, let's do it. One more. Oops. Come on. Land. Nope. Thank you. Land. Land. Right. Got one to do this side. The wall outlets add such a nice bit of texture at the top. The whole thing is simply incredible. Thank you, mate. I do appreciate very much your kind words. Get this done and then we can start to do the fiddly bit and get everything wired up, make sure it's all working and the lights are working and go down and have a little nosy, see where we're at. Not far off. Not far off. There we go. And how are we doing? Yeah, no, that's okay. Let's have a look now. Let's do it. Let's go and have a nosy from a distance and see how this baby's looking. I can't wait to see all the lights and have it on at night time again. It's just so beautiful the way the rays come out on this one at the top. It's just absolutely glorious. Love it. It's quirky. I like it. And I just love the reference it has to this. and the red forest and stuff. It's just kind of a nod to it without being sort of like a copy or trying to replicate. It's just a bit of a quirky thing. The other place the leaves could come, of course, is down underneath the water tower. I could have lowered them down a little bit. Maybe I should have. And then they wouldn't clash with the other leaves. And it would also mean the lights would be more visible at the top. Okay, redo. Sorry. You know how you're starting to get an idea how these builds go. Do, scrap, redo, scrap, redo. Do, 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 do. Fortunate enough, it's only 4 leaves. It's not like the entire project. That's where it gets frustrating. I don't. Oh, my worst experience of that, talking of which, is when I did my coal plant that I was known for before, which was my 62 generator one in the semi-dome thing, and where the pivot point was 50 meters underwater. That was a absolute hellhole because you can't build underwater, and the pinpoint had to be 50 meters down, the pivot point. That build took me 500 hours, but we'd got about halfway along, done it about halfway, and then I realized it was out by half a meter. And we literally had to scrap the whole thing and shift it across half a meter and redo it. It was like, yeah, that's why that one took 500 hours. That was kind of insanity. So we're going to have to drop down and have a little nose. Oh, a bit too low. Oh, that'll do. Up we go. Let's see if we can get it, sneak it in here. Oh, going the wrong way, going the wrong way. Kind of about there. What's it clashing? Ah, the inside of the pipe. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I sort of want. Because then the nodule's hidden, I think. Let's have a little peek. Oh, we could bring it out like that, and then I could put a bar across. That could work. Okay, let's do that. Then what we can do is go to architecture. We can put another one perhaps of these. Of course it's only going to go on the diagonal, isn't it? So I will need to go from here. Just got to try and find the height. I don't know what the height is. Higher than that, okay. There's the height. Let's go over here. Like that. We can probably delete that part. Yeah, there we are. And Don't know whether this is going to do what I want. I don't think it is. Maybe we need to do that. Oh, that needs to be coloured while I'm here. That works. That works for me. That's fine. Right, back we go. Next leaf. That's not then clashing with anything, basically, it's fine. And it'll be interesting to see how the lights come down if we get once the lights are on. Because that's the other thing, once you get the lighting done, sometimes there's tweaking needed afterwards of stuff. If it's just not working. Agreed, the whole thing fits in its environment, if that makes sense. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it's worked quite well. I like it when a plan comes together, a sort of, you have a vision of something and then it sort of happens. It's good. So let's in between these leaves again, so we're aiming roughly about there. Like that, and then come up. We'll have to go down and have a nosy. Okay, that's quite useful. Let's do that. Good position. So I think that's about there. Just need to bring it back out a little bit, like that. Might have to nudge it in a fraction. I think that's looking about right. Maybe up half a notch to there. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Confirm. Wait for that to click in and then come back to here. Don't think. Ah, there we are. That's the one. Then we put the longer one over, didn't we, just to secure it in. So it looks like it's properly attached. Yeah, okay. So number 2 done, 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Let's take off again. Try and land where we need to land without falling down, having to redo. It's so hard on this parachute to not float around. Oh dear, that was close. Right. Now in between the two, so we're going to go roughly around here. down a bit, I think. Around there. And we need to sneak down and have a nose. See what our positioning is. It's not too far off. We are clashing with this pipe a little bit. Nope. I've messed up. I think it's around there actually. Around there. So what is that clashing with? I think it is the pipe, isn't it? We might get away with it. Let's see if we can get up there, shall we? See if we can do a walk the pipe. Yes. Yeah. A little clash somewhere there, but that's all right. I'm not going to panic. Organic things tend to sort of rub against each other and meld their way around. Now, what I did on the old, I mean, on the experimental map I did when I was building these all by hand when I was doing them, I was actually building this around. So I was actually bringing this in and bringing this around and doing it so that or I was bending the leaf around. It got very, very fiddly, as you can probably imagine. But it was definitely part of the fun. How far I'll go with all of this, I don't know yet, but at the moment I'm quite happy with the way it's sort of going. It's okay. Little things like this I don't worry about too much if it's organic. What I don't like is machines when they're, you know, all that sort of stuff in the actual factories and stuff where they're cramping on each other and stuff. But organic leaves coming out of stuff I don't worry about quite so much. Okay, we have one more leaf to do, I believe. See if I can actually do this. This is a very risky little thing, which, no, yes. Oh, for the hover pack. All is forgiven, creative mode. Right, here we go, last one. No, 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 no. Stop. Right. So I think it's up half one here. Let's do it. You notice there's also something missing from here because these haven't been finished. And I think I went up 20. from memory. And they just poke slightly at top. Yes, that was it. Individual piece, thank you. There is a slight fractional difference in some of this height-wise. I'm not too worried about that because it's the overall thing and it's not part of a working factory. It's just pure aesthetics from a distance. And yeah, not too panicky about that at all. The only thing I'm looking at the moment and think to myself, this may require a little bit of a shift again, but this part here where it's going into the building here, I'm not 100% happy with. I'm wondering whether we need a smaller leaf eventually, just here coming down like this, but a lot smaller, just to cover that area. So it's a bit more disguised. I think that's something I might do at a later date once I've sort of got everything functioning. Then I'll do a sort of recap reversion of the whole thing. Still got that blinking ladder going up there that I forgot to take out. Ooh, tummy's growling. I guess it is lunchtime. You have to have a late lunch today. But I might go and grab a biscuit in a minute just to keep me going. Now, what did I come up to do? Oh, get rid of that ladder. That's right. Okay, so let's do the next thing, which is I wanted to rearrange that pipe so it's got a slightly better curve on it. It's just so finicky, that parachute. So what I'm thinking here, the trouble is I've got the electrics attached to this as well. As you can see, the cable there just hidden underneath, coming from block to block. What I'm thinking is this needs to actually come more out over here. Let's have a look at that bend. Is it on curve? It is on curve. That looks a bit better. Then that means that one needs to come in from there to... No. Don't need to do that one. I need to do that one. It's finding the next pipe with the reflections. think it's there. That's that one. So you imagine this is just like a couple of meters underwater, maybe a meter underwater. You imagine working 50 meters down, which is what I was having to do. It was just an absolute hellhole. You couldn't see a thing. It was, yeah, real interesting nightmare. Right. So what we now have to do is get the power from there, take it back to this block, there, and then from there we have to jump and go to that block. And I believe then we are set, ready to figure out how we're going to wire this up from this end. So the cable's there, and we need to get it up into the center. I must depart, my friend. It is always a pleasure and an honor, respectfully, Mac. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your company. Thanks for the chat. And please try and send me a link if you can to your dioramas. I would really like to see the work. Model making is definitely one of those things that really appeals to me. So, and would love to do it, basically. I mean, I'd love to do it if I could as a job, if I knew what I was doing. But please, yeah, do send me, if you can, a link. I really want to see your work. But thank you for your time. Come and watch me play with a plant. All right, we will try and get this operational. Hopefully you'll see it next time we're on, up and actually running. You should do. It's about a week away before my next stream, because the rest of the week I've got to take my mum up to hospital and stuff, and bits and bobs, and other commitments on. So yeah, a bit tied up for the rest of the week to do anything. So and I've got some studio time I've got to do as well. Just going to put the beam out for the moment, just so we can try and get a spot to work with. Now we need to foundations before I do anything, so that I can actually semi-walk underwater and achieve what we need. Okay, so block. We need to go a bit further actually. Get that. Where are you? There you are. Ah, that's actually interesting. Okay. I could get a block at the center. Okay. Let's just get some foundations in that we can work from. Is that going to be... Yep, that's still tall enough. Awesome. Except I need to get under here, which is what button now, because I don't rarely ever crawl. There we go. We're in. So, oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Have I fallen off the blinking concrete? Where did the concrete go? Ah, it's only on part of it, okay. Alright, let's do that. A lot more logical, isn't it? So that's the halfway point. And if we put one of those blocks, can we put one of those blocks underneath? Doesn't want to snap, does it? That's interesting. Okay. Is it because it's... no, it should snap. There's one there. Okay, well let's try going that way and then snapping it onto the end of that. There we are. So that works. There's always one, isn't there? There you go. Now what we can do is put a power thingy on socket in there. And we can take this out. If I can get back out. Like this, and hopefully, yes, it will run. There we are. Then we can delete that. Didn't really need it in the end, actually. In the end, came up with a better idea. And then we can take that cable up, which I should have done probably before I deleted that piece of foundation. There we go. That can be a single cable like that, which we can then take all the way up once we know what we're actually doing. In fact, can I get a double on? Does that work through here or not? No, it doesn't. Didn't think it did. I just had a thing in my head saying I don't think that will work anyway. Which is why I didn't do it in the first place. So what we have to do, and this is where it's a bit of a pain, we have to grab this, and I don't know whether we are, yeah, actually that's not going to work because I can't get to there without it going in the water and then breaking, which means it won't work. So how are we going to do this? Right, okay, I know how we're going to do it. It's unfortunately going to have to be the hard way. Not so hard, but you know, it will do. So we have to come in here, delete this. And we have to take this up to the center there if we can, if it's going to let us. Really? Really not going to let me up there? Hey. Oh, that light is going to get in the way, and it did this when I was building it in the first place. It became a problem. So what we need to try and do, if I can, without falling off. Come on. Yeah. Tricky little bugger. Because I'm going to have to go around the other way to go to the ladder. Oh. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse-moi. We are going to need to get... Where can I do this from? Actually, we could take it right up to there. That would still work if I can capture that one. Might need to try and upgrade it. In fact, so let's go back. Ooh. To here. Jump off to here. Let's up. Oh, it is upgraded. We've got enough. It's full. Bang. Okay. I think, okay, I think what we're going to do is we're going to undo that one, and we're going to run it from that one to that one. That leaves one slot free here, which means I can take that then down to that one. Then we can go back and we can put that back in. Bit of cable going through the light. I am not worried. Limitations of Satisfactory. Limitations of user. Well, I could fiddle around to get it all over the show, but I really don't want to because you don't really notice it. You're not going to notice it from a distance at all. So I'm not really worried. What that does mean though is we should have power coming off this now. So let's triple check. We do. We do have power. Woohoo! So before we connect any pipes, because I want these pipes to get full before we connect anything, we're going to come over. These have started producing. That's really, really cool. So all of those are semi-functional. Yep. So what we're now going to make sure is that the pumps are all working. So we've got water here. The pump has technically got power. Here, head lifters recommended, beyond recommended, blah blah blah. Yeah. Does it need another one down here? Is that what it's saying? I don't know. We might, until we get Mark II pumps. Yeah, until we get Mark II pumps, it's quite problematic because these do only go a very short distance in terms of height. I think they're 20 meters. That does 10 meters. So technically should get to this pump, but it would be probably close, which is why I'm going to stick in an extra one, see if that makes a difference or not. If the others here are working all fine, then I can remove it again. But it looks like it's, yeah, it looks like it basically would be okay. We just need to put another pump in to upstairs, actually. I think that's the real problem, not down here. So let's do it. Let's get another pump, and it needs to go there, and it needs to go that way. There we go. That's now pumping, and I don't know whether we'll need a third. Hopefully not. But I do know that down the line, once we get the Mark IIs and we can upgrade everything, it will be way easier. Oh, there we go. So that's working. When you see these actually filling with water, you know then these pipes are actually on their way to doing what they're meant to be doing with the pumps. That's now pumping away. Oh, I do need to save the game actually soon, because in case we get a serious crash, I do not want to actually. There we go. One more. I think we're pretty much there. Then we'll have to go up and have a look and see what's happening with the fluid tank, see if that's actually filling up or not. Okay, that's working. Good, good, good. So that's flowing. So it looks like it's heading in the right direction. So let's just go upstairs and have a nosy. We've got to make sure all the lights are connected up upstairs as well at some point, and make sure they're functioning properly, because at the moment they're not. Not yet getting water, so we may need another pump yet. These Mark I pumps are a problem. They are very, very, very slow at head lift. Now the other thing we're going to have to do again is just check. Have I done the wrong? Nope, it is there, hiding. So what we need to do again is take a wire from here, which we already have, but it's the wrong, I think, one. Oh no, okay. So it's going around to that one. So we need to find that little there. I think that's the one. We'll try it. And we've got to join it up with the power supply underneath. And if this don't work, we know we've got the wrong one. Nope, still got to go down. Oh my word. I've completely messed up here. Come down too far, but I am going to have to go down again, I think, and well, we are near there, so that's, I'm in the right area. Ah. No. Come on. It's got 7 on it already. That's the problem. I might just stick it for there for the moment and sort this out later. I just want to make sure we've got it connected and it's looking... Looks like we've got lights. I can see rays, but it looks like the colours are wrong. So that means the wiring's incorrect. Repents and repents? Repents and Pete. You're new fairy tale heroine and heroine and hero. Repents, I'm still doing it. Repeat and rinse, or rinse and repeat. Man, joys of dyslexia. So it is wired up wrong because it is technically blue. They are blue and they're coming out pink. So that means this is connected to the wrong thing. So well, that means that one's actually to the wrong thing. Yes. So this is where it gets really sometimes a little messy. Let's see if I can get it in on one of these. I can. Let me do that and see if it's going to let me. It's still not going to let me, is it? Even though I'm crouched. Come on, guys, be kind to me. See if I can get that one, but I can't get that one. No. Really? No. Oh man, it is so sometimes difficult doing the most simplest of little things. We did get a glimpse there. We got a glimpse there. So if this one's taking the power down, it shouldn't be connected to anything else but the switch. The rest then need to connect to that. I'll do that. I don't know whether that's even going to work. Ah, so frustrating. Right, how am I going to get around this? Because I really don't want to have to rebuild this, which let's go up a second. See, that one's going to that one. That one's going to that one. I'm going to take that one off. This one here can then go to any of them. I'm going to play it slightly differently, I think. So that is going... That one there is tied. Okay, yep. So they're all tied to each other. That means this one here for the power needs to go... is the one that needs to go down. Yeah, I know. If I can get that to go to there, that means we should, in theory, be able to switch these lights now to blue. Oh my word. Better be kidding me. Okay, back to the main ladder. Let's see if we can switch these and if that's going to make the difference. If it doesn't, it means we seriously have got to sort out our wiring. That's looking more like it. Yep. Awesome, we did that. We got there. Oh, come on. You're going to just literally stick me here and not let me up. Come on. Thank you. So we need to just plonk these back down now. Then eradicate those ones. That's it. Alright, so that's the lighting up there sorted. Now we're just going to see what's happening with these water tanks. Nothing's getting up here. That means these pumps seriously... Yeah, here we go. So we need to stick another wire onto there. That should mean this is going to start getting water. Yep, there we go. So this is going to take a while because it will go up to here and then it will just flow down all of this curly whirly stuff basically and fill up to the end there, which is why I haven't yet attached it because I don't want it draining before this is all fully loaded. And I'm going to have to do that with each of these, by the way. So we're going to need another pump. Yep, in there. And we need another cable. And there. Where's my cables gone on this side? Should be one fairly close because there must be one in there, it's just hiding. Yep, there it is. So that's that one. We'll see if we can get back up now. I don't know whether we can. I don't think there's enough leverage. Nope. Yep. Okay. So this one here, we also need another pump. There. That's going to go to there. And that means that little fella's going to start filling up as well. So we're just going to give that a few minutes. This one here, we've not got a pump here. No, we've missed one. Okay. And we need to find that power cable. It's hiding again in it. It'll be there somewhere. Yep, there it is. There it is. So let's. I think that's all four of them. All we could do now is pretty much wait and see. Look at that, full already. That's awesome. So that one's okay. That one started filling. Excuse me. That one's started filling. And that one's full. So two are full. And two are in limbo land at the moment. But they were the last to fit. So we do have positive flow, which is good. Plus net, so it's working. It is filling up. we go. Nearly there. Okay. There you have a water tank organic building that goes with the power station. I've just got to now get this loaded and linked up together. And this is where it's going to get perhaps a little bit tricky. Push this off to the side a bit so we've got some room to actually walk. So the question is here, to bring these up, we could do it a few ways. We could stick a hole through the floor, have 4 pipes coming up like that. Change chrome. And then the 2 outer ones, well, that is interesting actually, because do you do it that way or that way? Ooh, yeah. So here they're coming in, you see, this way, which makes a lot of logical sense, but it was just completely the wrong location. So that would be cut off effectively there, and this will end here. And that means this pipe comes around, and we've got to make sure we've got effectively 2 openings into it. We've got 1 opening which is going to come here, and maybe that's the one we bring around to the back end and loop it back in if we can. And then the first one comes into here, which will be this one. The question is how on earth we're going to actually do that in a logical way. Unless this pipe goes over the top. So we're going to have to do perhaps a little bit of spaghetti. I'm just keeping it on curve at the moment rather than straight to just give it that organic feel as it comes back out. So it's like dipping in, dipping down, and going up. Kind of like it. So, yeah. Because basically what we've got to try and do is we've got 4 pipes coming in, and effectively each pipe is going to serve 2 of these. So that's the other way we could do it, is we literally have them individually sorted, pretty much. So we could say bring 1 pipe. Oh man, how's this going to work? So if that cuts off, this will be, this pipe and this pipe will be together. That means one of these needs to be a cross section. So So what we need to do some temporary work and then a permanent fix. So we're going to do a quick here to here. If it's going to let us do it, a noodle it will. Good. That's going to help there. And then the same here. We're going to have to get that, and we're going to have to go to there, like that. That means this now is null and void. We can pull this out. Take that out. And that's less resource on the power that we're using. Same on the other side. Just for the moment, we need to just sort of dismantle this bit by bit as we do it, because what I don't want is the power to shut off, because rebooting all of the machines for the smart thing that we have in Go at the moment and this would be a bit of a nightmare. So we're just going to do that. Right, so we have full power still, we have full water, everything's happy. That's good. Okay. So next phase is, can we get a pipe system so we are going to get some loss, I believe, here, unless we do another fix. So okay, we're going to do some temporary work here. This here, I don't know whether this is going to fully work as a temporary fix, but we will try. Because what I'm going to do is cut this one off. Because this one here, we really need to try and change, if we can, to a cross section. And sadly, it doesn't allow us to just replicate it over like it does with the electric goods and change it, or with the upgrade to a miner thing, which is a real shame, because it would be so much simpler if we could. Because I don't know how we, well, I do know how, but it's going to, how we can do this quickly and efficiently without losing too much power and making the whole thing cock up. Let's see if we can do this. Quick up on that pipe, redo him. That we're going to need to go up to there as vertical. Change that to that. We now have a cross section in, which is good. Doesn't look like we've lost too much. We did it quick enough, which is good. Now what we need to do is bring a piece of pipe from there and we need this on curve, I think. How's that going to work? Just how is that going to work? So let me plug that there for a second while we have a think about this. So I'm trying to feed just 2. So that would disconnect here technically. So if this goes into this one, that means these 2 here need to be connected, which means this needs to be across so that one can go straight in. That's how that's going to work. Okay, so we need to do that, we need to do that, and we need to do that. Full flow. Doesn't look like we're losing anything at the moment, which is good. Now this is the next tricky one. Because what we need to do there's only one way to do this. Ooh, that's handy. That one didn't break. I don't know whether this still touches with the new piping system or not. Where the hell did that go? Oh my word. Where did it go? There. I'm hoping that hasn't screwed up. It looks like it's still working, possibly. We'll only know afterwards when we check the generators and see the actual... Well, in fact, we can potentially do that here. The little glitches. So we just got to make sure that everything is singing okay. If we've got a repeat of this happening, it means water isn't getting to somewhere and it's struggling. Production still 1800. The moment it's looking okay still. Okay. I think we're okay. So, this one here feeds those 2, basically, at that end. This one here feeds these 2. They are all connected, so there is a little bit of evening out, which is good. Which is helping at the moment, I think, while we're messing around with all this. So that's that one. Now we've got to sort out these 2. So this one here is going to come around and we have to switch this over to across. So we need to dismantle that. And we're going to have to quickly dismantle this one and that one and that one. Then do this in a curve, I think, to there. And if this doesn't work, why scored? It is turning in a slightly different place. I don't know why. Maybe I did that wrong. What was the configuration I used? That's white. Oh. This is where we can run into difficulties because straight curve. No, we want an actual cross here. overlapping another's. Yeah, I know it is. It's still not going to work. Pipe turns too sharply. Damn. So what we're going to need to do is come out here to here, put the cross in. Let's get that. Then connected, horizontal to vertical. Let's make sure that's running. To there, take that out. So that means that one's running. We need to bring this around. So what we need to do is come from that way. Do this in a curve. Bit like that. Then this one needs to go from there to there, like that. This one here is a problem because it's technically meant to go in here, but we don't have enough space because of the configuration of all this going on. So that means we need to change the way we do this, because at the moment I'm hoping we've still got enough water coming in with the 3. Well, technically we have 4 because we have this one here as well pushing in from that end, which is obviously helping to some degree. But I am going to have to work this out because we can't have that connected ultimately. So how are we going to do this? I've got a feeling that this one actually is going to be a problem. So the other way we do it I don't even know whether this will resolve it, but if we put these on the side, this one then came to here, then this came to here. That's doing it. This pipe's a bit, we might need to put another one in initially just to help. I don't know, we'll see what it looks like after when it's all done. That will then open up space for this one, hopefully. To do its thing, not to there, but to there. They're clashing. Well, to be honest, you ain't gonna see it. Maybe I should just not worry about it and actually do nope, that is not what I wanted. Curve from there to there. And then That still needs to then come back under where it was. Oh, like that. And you just got a little bit of overlap. Don't like it that, but I'll have to rethink this out. I will plan this at some other point. Um, there is a little bit too much clashing ongoing there for me. I might have to separate the pipes out a bit more once they come in under and spread them out and do like one per thing or something. Or maybe do two here and then one or something. Yeah, I'll have to work that one out. But I will do that another day. Because today the goal was to get this up and running and functional, which it is. What we just need to do now is finish deleting this part, as it's all now defunct. Or should be. Why is it flowing? It shouldn't be flowing. There's nowhere to flow to, my dear friend. You are deleted. I kind of liked this water tower, but it didn't work. It was in the wrong place, didn't do enough. What we've now got to do is not only delete the water tower part of this, but we do need to keep part of it and reinvent it for the continuation of the pipe here. Of where the minerals are coming in. So there is part of this we still need to keep, but we might just redesign it fractionally. We might keep the basic bones and just lower it down into more of a hub. But I am going to have to put a ladder up there and get up there and sort all that out and delete it. And then we need to do the wiring, because the wiring is a shambles at present on this part. At the moment we're quite good here. From here onwards we're okay, but I think what we need to do is from that, oh my word, from that block under there with the water, is bring the power cable out to here and then bring it in side this or something, or along it or whatever. And I think this only needs to go up to this sort of height, and we just need to do something here to cap it, basically. But I think in basic terms we get in there. I think it's looking pretty good. And I think we've done a good day's work, as it were. We've got the water tower up and running. Its lights are functioning. It's a job well done. Big thank you to those that have come in and been nosing at the project. And Mac, thank you again for your participation and conversation. So thank you, appreciate it. And to everybody else silently lurking behind, thank you. And we will see you all again. And this should be, I'm just going to leave this running now for probably a couple of hours, check everything is running smoothly, water, power, etc. And then I'll delete all this down to here somewhere while that's going on and check it all. And hopefully by next stream, I'll be able to say this little mini project is now complete, and we can, for the moment, until we can upgrade it all, and then we can move on back to the smart plating factory. So that should be super cool. And yeah, it's heading in the right direction. It's definitely heading in the right direction. So thank you. Take care. I will not be on for the rest of the week, I believe, because of things happening. Real life. So it will be likely next Monday or Tuesday. Probably definitely Tuesday that I'll be doing another stream. So until then, take care, and we will see you all again.